All right, thank you for tuning in. This is part two of Standing Up for Yourself, which I started yesterday. I'm so glad I made that video because I had some amazing breakthroughs today, energetically. Truly, truly, truly incredible. Honestly, miracles happen when you stand up for yourself and you do your inner work. It is a two, it's a both and. What I mean is, when I did my video yesterday, um, I knew that there was more that needed to be healed. And we did the reading together, and I did my inner work along with that. And then I realized more needed to be done. That was the last card move. And I reflected on what happened, and I realized I didn't set a big enough boundary. And moving forward in your life, it's all about just loving yourself, getting honest with yourself, and doing the thing that you know must be done. In this case, I realized, oh, I didn't really set the boundary that needed to be set. Because boundaries are so important. They are so healthy. When you set a good boundary, you feel so good. Now, I want to also clarify, like I said in the last video, is what's Terry Cole in Boundary Boss. I'll point out that book again. As she points out, you might feel boundary backlash um, because it's a muscle you have to build. But actually, deep down, even though you might have what, like in Twin Flame Universe, they call it upheaval, it's bad energy leaving you. But at the core, you'll feel so good. Standing up for yourself always feels so good, even if you have to work through a lot of very challenging stuff to get there. It's empowering. God and love are empowering energies. It's important to remember that, there's a book called Power versus Force, and God is power, and love is power. And so it's actually, if you want to be a God centered person, you're going to be a powerful person. Your voice matters. You need to speak up. You need to be a force of love. And this is about, of course, coming from a place of love. And that's why I talked about, doing your inner work, which means loving the places inside of you that need love, and then acting from a place of peace. You want to always act from a place of peace. This is what Jeff and Slia teach, and I found it to be 100% accurate. Because otherwise, you peace is the only true state of clarity. When your heart is at peace, that doesn't mean sometimes God asks you to move when you're afraid, because God wants you to move through the fear. That doesn't mean that you necessarily, you always move when God says move, and sometimes He'll tell you to move. Even when you're feeling fear. But beneath that, you will feel a great drive and peace despite that. Um, so, with all that said, I really, went deep with this one. I was like, I have to go, and I'm the type of person who, oftentimes the world tries to tell me, like, even if it's just energetically, like, wow, like, do you really have to take it that far? Do you really have to, I don't want to say push it that far, but like, it tries to tell me I'm too much, but I'm not too much. The truth is, I'm always, because of who I am, I'm pushing life forward to the next level. And I've seen this in the company I work for. It has gotten so much more high vibe. It attracts higher vibe customers and employees. Everything about it feels better and better the more I work, because I'm not afraid to love the place completely and to bring change where it needs to be, speak up when things need to be improved, because it's for everyone's benefit. I realize that if I don't say it, it's going to happen again. And if something is not a positive, a good behavior that's happening that needs to be addressed, I want it addressed now, so that we can all move forward and feel good. So anyways, that's all to say that, I went deeper with my management, with the team, just really getting clear on like what I really felt needed to be done to fully and completely heal and resolve. And that's the key. You need to heal something at the root, and you will know when something's fully healed when you feel a sense of wholeness, happiness, completeness. And after I sent this, and it could continue to evolve beyond this, but I felt amazing all day in a really divine way. I was sharp with my customers. I was just feeling alive, full of love. And I was like, okay, that's how you know you've gone all the way with loving something. I didn't really care how anyone reacted to what I expressed and needed. I still haven't, fully heard back. It was through, an email, but that didn't matter. It was the fact that I fully expressed myself and I fully set the boundary that I needed and the expectation, which I knew in my heart, this is going to benefit everyone because this is about, everyone's well-being. And so I'm, feel very good about that. And so when you love completely, God floods in. God wants to make the world a better place through you, essentially. Um, so I just wanted to share that piece. And I am going to pull a few cards because I'm always inviting God to take us deeper in this. But I just want to really encourage you, like, you know, love yourself. And it's okay wherever you're at in the process, just accept yourself. Like I realized, okay, I'm still working through being comfortable with conflict, but I love that part of myself. Gave that part a lot of safety. I said, you know what? I love you. I forgive you um, in your learning process, and I empower you and I love you. And we're going to do this. We're going to heal this. And I did what I needed to do to bring full peace and resolution to the situation. So I feel very good about that. Just curious to see if God has any further wisdom. I'm going to pull from Sacred Rebels, maybe just a couple cards. We'll see to take us deeper in this healing. Um, First card is Shock of the New. And I love this. God is always bringing something new to the planet. And this is so true. And God has, to be honest, God has a bit of a shock effect because the world oftentimes likes to get set in its ways, but God is an evolutionary force. God wants to move things forward. And of course, we've seen this in people's response to Twin Flames Universe. I have to still remove comments that are not kind and loving and compassionate because people are just still adjusting to this new consciousness that's being offered, a deeper form of love. And that's okay. But just recognize that you want to, reality actually, we want to be shocked. We don't want to be mediocre. We don't want to be complacent. We want to excel. We want to exceed. We want to shine. Okay. So this is a very good thing. If whatever side of the fence you are, if you're the one being called to action, or you realize, wow, somebody is triggering me, and a trigger can feel like a shock. It's just a chance to heal and go deeper. So embrace people that take you deeper, and don't be afraid to be that spark, to be that force in your life, whether it's your family or your work. And it's going to express uniquely through you. But when you're being your full self, because God made all of his children just perfect and extraordinary and unique. But when you are fully yourself, you will bring something new to the planet. And don't be surprised if people are shocked. Your approval, your well being comes from within. You don't need other people. It's okay to shock because you're just bringing new energy to the planet. And that is a beautiful, wonderful thing. So I love that card. I feel that so much. And the truth is, when you're bringing that energy to the planet, you're actually being filled with a lot of God energy. And that is what people are, adjusting to. Um, and so, Jeff and Shay have actually said, like, yeah, sometimes when a lot of love comes into a space, people have to adjust because they're not used to that level of vulnerability, love, truth, honesty, whatever it is. Um, but that is what moves life forward. Oh, this is so good. Defend to the end the worthwhile. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what this video is all about. Defend to the end. And that's why I realized I needed to go deeper because God wants to heal things at the root, at the core, all the way. And you will know when you got there, when you feel deep love, peace, release, like relief move through you. And don't be afraid to take it there because you might feel as you go deeper that there's a resistance. Oh, I don't know if we want to heal this all the way because then we have to actually change. Then we actually have to do better. But you create your reality. And if it's worthwhile enough for you, you will feel it in your heart. You will say, no, I'm taking this all the way. It's worth it. And for me, it was like, I realized I love my job. I love the people I work with, and I want the best for everybody, and it's worthwhile. I want us all to have a wonderful experience here. And I have the ability to do that in my own way to help create that through speaking up what God wants to say through me. So this is so beautiful. Um, you will know if it's worthwhile if your heart will tell you keep going. And don't let anyone tell you that that things are just good enough if your heart says no. I require so much more, because it's God through you wanting better. And so be yourself and take on that beautiful warrior energy of I'm going to stand up for love, and I will do it until love has won here. And you don't get to necessarily control how that looks because you can't control other people, but you know in your heart when you've done all you can. And that's what you do have control over, how far you take it. And that's something that you have to partner with God to know how far does God want love to proceed here. And you will know by the peace in your heart. So, wow. Okay, final card. Free from judgment, free to love. And this is a really good summation. This is what we're really healing. There are so many judgments, whether we're feeling them outside or inside. This is what keeps us from loving. This is what keeps us from speaking our truth, from shining our light, from being the force that God would have us be. And that's where the inner work comes in. Because ultimately, if you don't judge yourself and you just purely love yourself, then there's nothing to ever be afraid of. So just love those parts inside of you that need love, that need nourishment, that need healing, until just as much as it needs. Um, and like I said before, you can learn about the mirror exercise from Jeff Inchlea's book. I don't have it right here, but it's a great tool to heal those places. It's just basically, in short, it's just finding the places that are hurt inside, and whether it's something you're telling yourself or just a feeling that needs love, and bringing that love. And when you free yourself from that judgment, um, and just say, you know what, I love myself unconditionally and completely. Even if I made mistakes in the situation, even if I had to learn a lot in the process, it's okay. I'm going to love myself all the way through this situation to bring it to peace. When you heal all that judgment and bring love, you will succeed. Because as Jeff and Shleya say, only love is real and love never fails. So if you keep choosing love and never give up, you will succeed. That is the power of love. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you insight. I hope it empowers you. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.